Forget Wi-Fi and hybrid engines. These vans and pickups delivered more than just parcels. They carried the heart and soul of a bygone era. From iconic workhorses to show-stopping classics, let's take a nostalgic drive through 10 unforgettable legends. Alright, kicking things off with the Austin 600-weight Morris Minor van. At first glance, it might look like your standard Morris Minor with a bigger boot, but don't be fooled. This iconic little worker has a story that's peak British motoring. Back in the mid-60s, Austin and Morris, though both under the British Motor Corporation umbrella, were running separate dealership networks. To give Austin dealers something to sell in a small commercial market, the Morris Minor van was given a light rebranding. A crinkly grille here, an Austin badge there, and voila, the Austin 6 CWT van was born. But what's under the bonnet? This van packed the same legendary A-Series engine found in its Morris sibling. It's a 1.1-litre inline-4 that might not have pulled wheelies, but was more than capable of hauling 600 weight. About 300 kilos for those thinking metric. Perfect for running deliveries or maybe even carting your dog to the countryside. The van had some tweaks to its setup compared to the car version, with a separate chassis and sturdier rear suspension to handle daily abuse. Today, spotting one on the road feels like catching a rare bird. These vans were practical to a fault, which means that many were run into the ground. If you see one, especially with its Austin badge intact, consider yourself lucky. That's a piece of British motoring trivia rolling by. Next on our list is the Austin A35 van. The absolute picture of hard-working charm. Launched in 1956, it quickly became one of Britain's favourite small vans for businesses and posties alike. Picture its rounded, unassuming face pulling up to a busy street corner, loaded with milk deliveries. Cute? Definitely. Tough? Even more so. The A35 was powered by a 1-litre engine, sending a humble 34 horsepower to the back wheels. Now, you're not going to win any drag races, but speed wasn't the A35's selling point. It was all about rugged dependability. Whether you needed to carry parcels or tools, the A35 was always game. Its rear-wheel drive setup and simple but sturdy suspension also made it a joy to drive around British back roads. One feature that made it so practical was its load space. The van body offered a surprising amount of room, and the wide rear doors made loading and unloading a straightforward affair. It also helped that the A35 was light on fuel and cheap to run, a perfect companion for small businesses on a tight budget. Fast forward to today, and the A35 van has gone from practical workhorse to beloved classic. Find one at a show, and you'll likely see it pristine as it can be, lovingly restored by a proud owner. Moving on, say hello to the Austin A40 Devon. This model might be best known as a post-war family car, but its utility versions, including the van and pickup, deserve just as much love. The A40 Devon was Austin's answer to the rebuilding economy of the late 1940s. It played a dual role as a comfortable car and a reliable hauler for light commercial needs. Powered by a 1.2-litre engine producing around 40 horsepower, the A40 Devon had just enough grunt to carry its load without complaint. Its tough rear suspension and separate chassis made it more durable than your average saloon car of the time. This van wasn't just a car with the back chopped off. It was purpose-built to handle the demands of daily work life. It's easy to see why the A40 Devon gained popularity. It blended the practicality of a van with the comfort of a car. Businesses loved it for deliveries, and families enjoyed a versatile vehicle that could double as a weekend hauler. Visually, the Devon had that post-war charm with its rounded curves and wide grille, a proper symbol of its era. Today, owning an A40 Devon isn't just about nostalgia. It's about holding onto a piece of the past that helped rebuild Britain. Restored models still turn heads, and rightly so. They're a testament to Austin's knack for making vehicles that were both practical and stylish. Now, here's a proper legend, the Bedford CA van. Introduced in 1952, this was the definition of every man's van. From delivering milk to becoming the backbone of mobile businesses, the Bedford CA was everywhere. If you've seen those classic ice cream vans or tradesmen scooting around in black and white photos, chances are you've already met the CA. Its standout feature? Sliding doors. A game changer for couriers and delivery drivers in the 1950s. You could hop in and out 100 times a day without having to swing open a door every single time. Pair that with its snub-nosed design and it just looked the part. Under the bonnet, you'd find a 1.5-litre engine offering reliability without all that flash. The versatility of the CA meant you'd find them kitted out for all sorts of jobs, from carrying tools to mobile shops. Many were even converted into campers, which is why they're still beloved by vintage caravan enthusiasts today. Spot one in a car show now, lovingly restored with its bright paint and retro chrome touches, and you can feel that post-war nostalgia. Doesn't get more iconic than this practical workhorse. Alright, next up is the J4, a van that didn't get around by looking pretty, but by getting stuff done. Rolled out in 1960, it was the van equivalent of a Swiss Army knife. Didn't matter if you were a florist, a postman, or running your own business, the J4 had you sorted. Its boxy design wasn't just about looks. That bold shape maximized space, so you could stuff it full of parcels, flowers, or whatever needed shifting. Practicality was the name of the game. Underneath that utilitarian body was a front-engine, front-wheel drive layout. It could carry up to 1 ton, which for a van of its size was seriously capable. But where the J4 stood out was in its simplicity. Mechanically easy to maintain, because breakdowns happen, especially in the 60s, and its straightforward design made repairs a breeze. Today, you're more likely to catch a lovingly restored J4 parked at a classic car show. Its faded working class roots replaced with a fresh coat of shiny paint, and it's always a treat to see one in its Royal Mail red, isn't it? Still, utility is only half of the story. Sometimes you need a design so forward-thinking that it changes the game entirely. And boy, did the next van do exactly that. Now we're talking. The Ford Transit Mk1 isn't just a van, it's a cultural icon. Released in 1965, the Transit Mk1 wasn't just bigger, it was smarter. Designed to be a one-size-fits-all, it could haul goods, equipment, you name it. Tradespeople loved it, musicians toured in it, and yes, even the occasional bank robber favored it for its load capacity and, fast getaway potential? At launch, the Mk1 was offered with a 1.7-litre engine, but you could also opt for more powerful variants depending on your needs. Its chassis design was revolutionary. With a wide track, it was stable, while its square body made it easy to load and configure for different jobs. Builders loved it, craft businesses swore by it, and more than one aspiring rock band crammed all their kit and themselves into one. Ford sold waves of them, and for good reason. If you're lucky enough to spot a Mk1 Transit today, restored to its former glory, do yourself a favor and take a good, long look. You're staring at a van that changed the game for its competitors and set a benchmark for versatility. Now, before things got groundbreaking, there was an earlier attempt at tackling the challenges of city deliveries with a compact, reliable solution that made its presence known. Rewind time a bit further for this one. The Fordson 500 weight van, launched in the 1930s, was all about compact reliability for smaller businesses. If you needed a nimble vehicle for city deliveries, the Fordson was your mate. It was fitted with a 1.1-litre engine, not massive, but just enough for the job. What made it stand out was its design, slim and rounded, with a silhouette that just screams pre-war Britain. The Fordson was purpose-built for squeezing through narrow streets or unloading in tight markets. It's easy to imagine it bustling about, stopping at every corner shop with a delivery of bread, milk, or newspapers. These days, you won't see many of them. Most will work so hard that they didn't survive. But catch a glimpse of one restored, and it's like seeing a snapshot of an earlier time, when vans weren't just transport, but the lifeblood of every village and town. But who says practicality can't also have a bit of charm? The next contender brought personality to the table with a design that's impossible to forget. Now, here's a van that screams charm and nostalgia in equal measure. The Morris J-Type. Launched in 1949, it stood out immediately with its quirky snub-nosed front and rounded bodywork. Honestly, you can't mistake it for anything else. It's like someone blended functionality with cartoonish flair. But don't be fooled by its playful look. This van was an absolute workhorse at heart. The J-Type was powered by a 1.5-litre side-valve petrol engine, producing around 40 horsepower. Alright, it wasn't tearing up any racetracks, but it didn't need to. This van was all about reliability and versatility. Whether you were delivering groceries, milk bottles, or even newspapers, the J-Type could get the job done. Its small turning circle and compact size made it perfect for weaving through the crowded post-war streets of Britain. A neat feature? The front-mounted driver's position maximized cargo space in the back. Businesses loved it, and it's no surprise you'd find these vans everywhere back then, from local dairies to the Royal Mill. Today, they're collector favorites, with their distinct silhouette catching attention at car shows. Spot one decked out in its original period livery, and it's like stepping back into a mid-century high street. And while character is important, evolution and functionality are key. What came next refined these elements into an even more capable workhorse. Following the J-Type was the Morris Series 2 van, and it brought with it a more modern, refined presence. Though still loyal to functionality, there was a slight shift in design direction. Introduced in the mid-1950s, the Series 2 served as a response to the growing post-war demand for more capable, commercial vehicles. Under the bonnet was an improved 1.5-litre engine, offering a bit more power to help shift heavier loads. It wasn't breaking any speed records, but it handled the day-to-day grind with ease. What made this van effective was its no-nonsense, boxy design. Straightforward, practical, and plenty of space in the back for everything from parcels to toolkits. The Series 2 was the go-to for tradespeople, couriers, and small business owners who needed a reliable hauler that could handle a hard day's graft. Its affordability didn't hurt either. Even today, these vans serve as a reminder of the resilient, built-to-last approach of Morris engineering. Fully restored examples are often celebrated for their crisp, utilitarian charm. They're proof that you don't need fancy lines to leave an impact. Finally, we've got the guest of honor. The one van not of British pedigree, but undeniably iconic worldwide. The VW split screen, or Type 2 as the Germans call it. From 1950 to 1967, this van set a standard in its all-around ability and unmistakable design. Take one look at its two-piece windscreen. Yep, that's where the name split screen comes from, and you know it's something special. With a flat-4 engine mounted in the rear, the split screen wasn't designed for speed, but it was dependable, and it offered adaptability that few vans at the time could compete with. Camper van? Delivery vehicle? Mobile coffee shop? This VW could do it all, and a large part of its charm lay in that flexibility. But what really set it apart was its cultural impact. From surfers to flower children, the split screen became a symbol of freedom and counterculture in the 1960s. Even today, it's celebrated for its ability to bring together form and function. Restored models often feature vibrant, retro paint schemes, quirky interiors, and those iconic pop-top roofs. You'll find it at virtually every classic car meet, often surrounded by crowds appreciating its timeless appeal. It might not carry a British badge, but its impact on motoring history is undeniable and worthy of its spot on this list.